What is up, Need for Speed Racers? It is I, your wheelman, Alex Cornnut, and we're here with the Mercedes-AMG GTS Roadster. People, you guys, fans, friends, crew have been asking for a Mercedes, and I've really been struggling to find one that I was happy with, that I would make a build video on to bring to you guys. Because there's plenty of cars we build that are the best that car can be, but it's not enough for me to be like, yeah, I'm going to put that on the channel, because at the end of the day, if somebody's new and they build one of my builds and it's not good, they're not winning in it, they're never going to come back. And I'm trying to grow a community. So when I bring you guys a build, the standard is high. It's going to work good. There are some outliers there that maybe are a little dodgy in some aspects, like the S-Class Testarossa. It does one thing, and that's rocket ship mode. But I digress. This is pretty good. I got some wins in it yesterday. I actually was kind of surprised because on some of my YouTube videos, right after I got done testing with this and getting the gameplay footage, a couple people commented. They're like, hey, I was in that race. That Mercedes rocks. I was like, shh. Build video doesn't come out till tomorrow. But here it is, bringing it to you guys. It's a fun car to drive. I was actually really surprised with it. I'm very happy with it. I think you guys will enjoy it. Give it a build. Tell me what you think in the comments. The engine that we're running in this one is the fourth from all the way to the left. One is the first one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It is the 4.0 liter V8. Starts out with a brake horsepower of 515, and we bring it up from there. Side note, I tried this motor and this motor. You have to use the 5-speed transmission to make those two motors viable. And in the process of doing that, you end up with this build. You gain 80 horsepower, but you lose about 100 foot-pounds of torque. That really wasn't working for me. This one was you gain 30 horsepower, but you gain 100, or you lose about 150 foot-pounds of torque. So it was even worse. So really, when it was all said and done, like, I struggled with making a decision on what motor I thought was best, and then I just ran some lap times, went and did some testing, and it was a very clear winner. The 4.0 is the way to go. Definitely the winner on this one. My man XVILL worked really hard on the other car that is the GTS, not the Roadster, and he had a great build for it. It was very similar to this. He tested the motors and whatnot. If you compare the Roadster, which is the convertible, to the hardtop, which is the non-Roadster, they're very similar, but the convertible actually has less PI points when you start, so you can actually put more horsepower into it. And I was like, okay, well, maybe they're different weights or something. So I looked up the weight values in the game. They're the same weight. The Roadster and the hardtop are same, pound for pound, or kilogram for kilogram is how the game figures it up. And so with those circumstances the way they are, because they handled identically, the convertible was a better one to build because you could get a little bit more power in it. And so you're getting more bang for your buck, so to speak. And plus, if you like a drop top, this is the car anyway. Personally, I think the hardtop looks better, but I'm all about the go, not about the show. And so that's why we went with the Roadster on this one, you guys. For the parts, you are running Elite Platinum Induction. You are running Elite Platinum ECU. You are running Super Gold Fuel System. You are running Silver Pro Exhaust. You are running Elite Platinum Roots Supercharger. Bronze Sport Nitrous. Elite Platinum Road Suspension. We're going full grip on this one as much as we can get. It only finds itself at 80%. We are Silver Pro on the brakes. You are running Elite Platinum Grip tires. Like I said, full grip, you guys. This car hooks up really good. For the clutch, it is a Super Gold clutch. You are running the middle transmission, the 6-speed Silver Pro transmission. Like I said, I tried it with the 5. You can put more horsepower in it, but you lose top end with the gearing. And I wasn't going to settle for 180 miles an hour in this car. I needed to go 195, 196. With Redline Tech and a yellow boost, I've seen this car over 200, but it's very conditional. You got to kind of hit you got to hit full 3-bar boost and be doing a bit of Redline Tech to make it work. But overall, 6-speed Silver Pro transmission. It's pretty solid. Elite Platinum differential. Auxiliary, totally up to you guys. If you're not micro drifting, I would recommend you do grip and maybe draft, or grip and near miss. It all depends on your play style. If you're good about going up against parked cars and getting that near miss, or staying in oncoming and dodging traffic to build your boost bar, that near miss is great. If you don't play that way, don't do near miss, do draft. Chase somebody for a little bit, build that boost bar up, and then slingshot around them in the last corner. There's a lot of different ways you can do your auxiliaries, you guys. So do whatever fits best with your play style. Don't copy me, because that's what I'm doing. Do what's best for you so you can be comfortable in the car and take the most W's. You know what I'm saying? That's where we're at, you guys. For the handling, all the way to the left, it's not full Beyonce because we can only go 80%, but we're sliding it all the way over anyway. So 80% all the way to the left on the grip side of things. Steering sensitivity, I am 2 clicks high. I've tried it low, I've tried it in the middle. It's easier to get your initiation of the micro drifts when it's a little lower, but that's not how I drive. I've been playing 2 clicks to the right the entire time I've had the game. It was really hard to adjust. I'll discuss that in just a moment with you. The downforce, this is super mega important. If you're in the middle, 2 clicks to the right, that is the only place this car will do 329. Every other position is 330 or 331. So that's the only place you're going to get S-Class out of this build. Be aware. Many people don't make it till this part of the build video, and then they wonder why their car doesn't work in the class. It's because you need to follow all of it. Because when I'm optimizing the car and getting the most out of it, that handling and downforce slider sometimes is the determining factor if I can make it have as much horsepower as it does. That's how you know we are right on the cusp of like the very top, the upper echelon of whatever class we put it in, because if you do that slider anywhere else, it doesn't fit. Traction control is off. Drift entry, I have brake tap. Like I was talking about the steering sensitivity, one of my very generous friendly donors that watches my streams and hooked it up, he went to the donate tab on my YouTube page and just sent money. And when you send money on the donate tab, that goes directly to my PayPal account, and I get that immediately. And so I was on stream the other night, my controller was disconnecting, and so he donated a very generous donation and said, hey, buy a new controller. And so I did. I was a good steward of that donation and bought the Elite Pro 2 controller, one of the best controllers you can buy right now, I would say. It's got the different thumbsticks you can put on it. So I got the tallest one on the left, and then I made the adjustment within the thumbstick as stiff as you can get it with that spring tension. And so I can do steering sensitivity too, because I can do little micro corrections because the thumbstick's so much taller and because it's so much stiffer. So it's really cool. If you guys want to help me out, come and hang out on stream, do a super chat on YouTube, or buy a gifted sub for somebody in the community, or buy yourself a sub if you don't have one. All of that helps me out. Or if you just want to hook it up direct and we don't want Twitch or YouTube to take a piece of it, just shoot me a little donation on the donations page if you want. I accept everything. I try to be a good steward of everything that is given to me. I bought a stand-up desk so I can bring more energy to the videos and to the streams. I bought a controller because somebody else said they wanted me to get a good controller. And so at the end of the day, I'm not going to just put it in my pocketbook and go out to dinner. I'm going to try to reinvest in what you guys see, so that way you know anything that you bring to the table to help me out, you're going to get something back from it, hopefully. So I appreciate you guys. Other than that, I've got gameplay footage after this. Stay tuned. This car's really pretty good. Side note on that, a couple people saw me driving this car when I was testing it in the gameplay, and then they commented on one of my YouTube videos. They're like, hey, yo, I saw that Mercedes. That thing looks good. I'm like, shh. It's not out yet. It's not out yet. So this is it. This is the build. I think you guys will really like it. I'm working on a blacklist within the crew. It's pretty spicy. We were talking stuff and everybody was just like, oh, I'm better than you, or you think you're fast, you're not. So I was like, say less, fam. And so we have a blacklist and we're working on setting who's in positions of what. And then once we've got that set, we're going to open it up to the public. We're going to have a time trial that you have to do, probably a mixed playlist where you have to finish under a certain time. And then I'm going to set up a couple of drift zones that you have to get a certain points threshold on it to prove that you can hang. And then once you can hang, we're going to have a way for anybody that wants to be a part of the Discord to come over and start racing for position on the blacklist, because right now there's no leaderboard. So why not make our own blacklist and have people rank up and do stuff? It's not going to be for just anybody. I'm not going to let just somebody off the street that maybe is a member of a different community just come in and be like, oh, I want to race number 1 on the blacklist, or give me number 15 slot to race. And that's not how this works. It's going to have to be people that are putting in the time, that are racing with us, that are part of the Cornnut crew. It's really kind of exclusive to the crew, but anybody can be a part of the crew. You just got to put the time in and hang out with us. So be looking for that. We've already done some blacklist racing on stream to kind of get our position set. That's been a lot of fun. I'm thankful for you guys. I'm Alex Cornnut, your wheelman. Have a great rest of your day. Stay tuned for the gameplay footage. Bye-bye. Alrighty, race 1. Nice full 8-player lobbies is what I like to try to bring you guys for when we're doing these videos. And this is a good one because I'm definitely fighting for position. I launched the car in 4th gear as we do, and we're running hard. We've got Jiren, VQLUII. That person actually recognized the name, recognized the race, and then hit me up on one of my YouTube videos later. So I'm thankful to you guys. I love that I can go into a pub lobby and find you guys as fans. So it was really cool. We got a handful of the other Cornnut crew in here. Sandrose, Warzeth, Bodacious, Nil, Oxar. All those are part of the homies. So nice full race. We're just holding our line right here, staying tight. Jiren has got a very specific build. That car is a specialist. It only does 177. You'll hear him rapping out later. We cut this corner tight. We usually go right through the checkpoint so we can stay on the pavement. Jiren hooked it up. He just happened to be in the perfect spot to give us a little boost to keep us on the pavement. Otherwise, we're doing grip turns. As we go down this hill, guys, I've said it plenty of times, we want to use all of our NOS. We want to use all of our boost because we are going to hit the gas station. Jiren's got over 1,000 horsepower in that car if he built it right. I don't know if he did or not, but I'm going to assume that he did. And so that's why he's taken off from us. But the man doesn't watch the Cornnut videos. He doesn't know the lines. And so we're going to catch right back up. You'll see we're gaining on him right now tremendously because we're going 10 mile an hour faster than him. That's the thing with these builds, man. If you only do 180, you better make up all the time you can in the early track because if you don't get away, we're going to catch you right back up. We cut through those trees. We're staying in the draft, getting that perfect boost bar, getting 3 there. We're going to save it. I'm going to use it as we go through this corner, keeping a nice tight line up on the curbs. This car really did surprise me with its ability to handle. We got a tight line through there. Our opponent, Jiren, crashed, and now it's just VQLUII behind us. One of the fans, big shout out to him for hanging out and recognizing me. That's really cool. I appreciate that. Overall, this car's good. We walked that Lamborghini no problem, even though he had way more horsepower than us. And driver mod's a big deal, you guys. I won't ever take away from that. But at the end of the day, this is a decent car. And our buddy, VQIL, is over there in my Skyline. So we know he knows what's good. Alrighty, race 2, Fishhook. Now, I show you this one for a very specific reason. I make a couple of mistakes big time. This is not a flawless run. But there's a line that I've been trying to hit for a while. I don't know if I can make it meta or not, but I had to bring it to you guys because I hit it perfect this time. So we've got a much smaller lobby. My man Sadrose is hanging out with us. We've still got that guy Jiren. But now we've got Tito and also maybe down there in 5th. We get a good launch. We're just walking this car down. Fishhook, if there was a race to where it would probably struggle, it would be this one. This is one of the highest top speed tracks in the S class. But this car, like I said, being able to do 195 is not slow. It's just not as fast as some of the other cars you can be running. Overall, we're making it work. That was one of the mistakes there. I got a little out of shape, clipped the wall, which put me right into that oncoming traffic. So our overall time is not going to be nearly what it could be. But I'm human, you guys, and I'm wanting to show you the cool line that comes up here. And I want to show you how the car handles and how it, catches back up. So if I just show you perfect races where I easily win everything, that kind of sets a different expectation. But here the car turns really good, stays on the pavement. Had to use a little bit of brakes, but overall, no problem. Getting a nice long wide turn here, getting that boost, cutting through the gas station to top up our nitrous, using all of it up to that point to get up to speed, and then once we're clear, using it again. 194, we're bouncing off the rev limiter. If I get out of the throttle a little bit and do redline tech, it'll do 195 like you kind of see there. We e-brake in, get a little bit of a drift, accelerate really hard around this corner using all of our NOS, then using our boost from the grip turn. Getting back into oncoming so we can get our nitrous. And we're well and far ahead of our opponents. And so when I'm really far ahead, that's when I start to do experimental stuff because, If I'm trying to catch up, I don't want to do that. But look, I cut through the gas station, take a right, go through this gas station, top up my nitrous, use my boost, and then accelerate right back down. I don't think that line was slower. It's a little bit harder corner, so not all cars can do that. But this Mercedes did just fine. So I really kind of thought that was special. That was the first time I'd ever hit that line clean and actually had it on film. And so I was like, well, that's going to go into the video just because. Other than that, it's just a fun little race. The car doesn't do too bad, you guys. As you can see, if you're running even not perfect and somebody else wrecks, you're going to have that. So driver mod's the big thing, guys. I could be racing anybody in this race, and if they had not crashed, they would have won the race. So that's the difference. If you can race and not crash and be, very predictable and consistent, that's going to take you far. Overall, car's really good. I'm pretty happy with this Mercedes. I think you guys will like it too. Alright, last race of the playlist. We're on rails here. We've got a little smaller group, but overall I wanted you guys to see some of the lines. I immediately go over to the left-hand side of the race, and I'm getting those near misses with oncoming traffic. And so I'm missing the taxi cab, getting in oncoming, just holding my power, holding the speed there, getting into 6. Coming up to this, I e-brake in and keep it as tight as possible. That didn't work as I would like, and so I got out in the trees, came back through the gas station, but I already had full nitrous, so it was kind of a wash there. But that is a very tricky corner. It is not easy to hit, but overall, it's all good. We're going to keep it tight. You'll see I'm using every parked car for a near miss opportunity to build that boost bar. That's really what I want to show you guys about this track. Use those parked cars to get as much boost as you can. Keep it tight through there. Avoid hitting the wall as much as possible because it's really easy to crash. We're not hitting any traffic. We're keeping it tight through this corner, using our boost to get up to speed. Using that grip turn that we have there to use this one even faster and get back up to speed to really walk on our opponents. But the big thing with this track, you guys, is use the parked cars as near miss opportunities so that way you can fill that boost bar. That'll really, really help you get an advantage where other people that are not doing that won't have it. Other than that, we get up to speed just fine using our boost. We hit 197. This car is not slow. It handles very well. I think, honestly, for just about anybody, this is going to be a good build for you. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.